Welcome to the Fourth Down Experience, the podcast devoted to special teams. Your host of the Fourth Down Experience, former pro free agent, 9-year professional kicking coach out of the Midwest, Coach Chris Hughesby. Alongside Coach Chris Hughesby is a former 2-time Arena Bowl champ, 9-year pro kicking coach, repping the South, Coach Brian Jackson.
What's up, guys? It's Brian Jackson of the Fourth Down Experience podcast, along with Chris Hughesby. We're back again every week, providing fantastic content, and excited that you guys are here with us. We have an awesome guest with us today, a young guy. Went 22 for 25 on his field goals this past season in college, 88th percentile, and he had a long of 57. And another note that's important as well is he was perfect on his extra points, 52 of 52. He is the 2019 Fred Mitchell Recipient Award, which is the best kicker in over 700 schools in the country, D1 AA all the way down to JUCO. 700 plus kickers, this guy be out. Luis Aguilar, welcome to the show, bro.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Hey, Luis, welcome to the Fourth Down Experience podcast. We are excited to have you on. So glad you could join us today.
Thank you, Chris. Appreciate it.
So, Luis, just hearing what I just said a second ago, 700 kickers in the country compared to the 130 in FBS. You have an additional 700 kickers. You are the one that wins the award. How does it make you feel?
Truly humbling. I mean, up to this day, I still can't really process it, but it's been such a great. It was a great achievement. I mean, coming into the season, I was just focusing on one kick at a time, not really looking forward too much to the future. Just trying to help my team win. But postseason, seeing the way I ended up and seeing my stats, it was kind of like I wasn't really shocked, but at the same time, I'm like, I did that, But looking over that Fred Mitchell award and over how many other kickers they evaluated and stuff, it's really humbling. It's a huge honor, and honestly, I could have done it without my teammates.
So, Luis, as you were going through the season, having a great season, field goals and all that, were you starting to get little notifications and people talking about how great of a season you were having and maybe that you were kind of mentioned amongst the better kickers in the nation? Does that media hype start picking up a little bit, or did you notice it? Did you pay attention?
Oh, yeah. It for sure started picking up because, after that first game, I got the Big Sky Special Teams Player of the Week, and I had already broken my career long, and we had won that first game, and it, so after that, it was until the third game where there was more reporters from Foxtrot, from the Daily Sun, starting to start posting Luis Aguilar having a breakout season, and more they're just paying more attention. But I did notice it, but it didn't really affect me. I still had that chip on my shoulder because this was also my first full year kicking. Because previously I was a punter. But yeah, I for sure did notice it. I just didn't really think about it too much, and just took it one day at a time in practice, and as far as kicking, one kick at a time.
You just finished your junior year, correct?
Yes, sir.
So you earned the award. What are your goals for next year? You had a phenomenal season. What's your mindset for preparing for a senior year?
So as of right now, I'm spring ball's coming up on the 24th of March. So I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but I want to have a good spring. And right now, just getting stronger, getting more explosive, and continuing that on to the summer. And then, heading into fall camp, heading towards the season, have the same goals, just mentally taking it one kick at a time and, not worrying about two kicks and over, just worrying about that next kick. And then overall, just finishing number one in touchbacks and field percentage and all that stuff that comes along with that mentality of taking it one kick at a time and not getting too ahead of yourself. But goals are the same as this year, and I'm giving myself high expectations, and I don't want to, lower those standards.
Hey, Luis, talk about your relationship with your long snapper and holder. Obviously, they were a huge part of your success this past season.
Huge. Man, they've been my best friends since day one, and I live with my long snapper, so I see him every day. We go to lifting together. We do everything together. And my holder, we weren't as close in the beginning because we were competing for the punting job, but the past years we've been really close, and we just do everything together. They're those guys. They're going to be in my wedding one day.
Nice.
We've built such a strong relationship, and I trust them. With my life, and then they make it so easy to go out there and kick and just do my job. They make my life easy.
Just curious, Luis, as the best kicker in D1 AA all the way down to JUCO, maybe talk about your ball tilts and do you like it straight up and down or to the right or a little forward or whatever? Maybe talk about just the way you like the ball held for you.
Well, it depends. Since I kick in the dome, so right there I'll just have a little tilt towards him. But when we kick, since in the Big Sky Conference, you'll play at a lot of outdoor stadiums, windy stadiums and stuff, and that week of practice, if we played like at Illinois State, we knew it was going to be windy, it was going to be raining. We were kind of working on tilting the ball a little forward. Just because of that wind, but overall, I like it just a little tilt, to the holder. But I could tell you right now, throughout the season, I've gotten a little bit of everything, and I've gotten comfortable with it. Coach Price, our special teams coordinator, has us working bad holds, bad snaps and stuff, so I won't freak out in the game. It'll just be business as usual. So we've worked a lot of bad holds and stuff and laces towards me and everything. So it won't be a surprise if it ever happened in the game. But I have such a good long snapper, and he always gave me laces out. So
nice.
That was never an issue.
Well, one more technique question here before I hand it back to Chris. An impressive stat that you had this past season, dude, was your 83 kickoffs. You had 61 touchbacks. That's remarkable. 61 touchbacks. What are a few things that you do with your kickoff approach and finish? What are some things that help you? Like if a 14-year-old kicker was listening right now and wanted to get some tips, what helped you be so successful to generate so many kickoff touchbacks?
So kicking off was a huge emphasis this past summer. I wanted to hit a lot of touchbacks and just make it easier for the kickoff unit. But I would say it all started off in the weight room, and just getting that explosiveness as fast as possible going. But besides that, I remember my senior year of high school, which was the first year I started kicking. I was like a 10-step guy, but learning as you go, learning like all about the contact, the technique. You don't need that many steps. So I'll take 6 steps, and then 4 across. And so reducing the amount of steps, gave me less room, less margin of error. So I was more efficient, and just really focusing on the follow through the hurdle, and it's all about the contact. So it was just making good contact and making sure that I was ascending as far as like approaching my kickoff. I was ascending, not descending or up and down. So that played a huge role in just figuring that out in the summer, and just getting lots of reps and figuring out what style was working for me, and that's what working was just reducing all my steps and hitting a pure ball.
Well, that's great. So You're very polished in your answers and how you perceive your kicking abilities, and I think it's really incredible because it appears that you are really into it. You take it very serious. When you go back home, you got a coach that's been helping you all along. That's really gotten you to where you are.
I have like a couple.
Nice.
One of them is Coach Zahner, who I've been working with recently.
Nice.
And another kicking coach, his name's Andy Batchelor. He's from my hometown. He's the one that he used to be a specialist up here at NAU a few years ago. So he came back to Nogales and he kind of pointed out a few things and kind of started getting me into it. And he's actually the one that got me into it in high school. So, but him, I have to say him and Zahner. Zahner has been a huge part of it recently. He's been more like a natural style kickoff. Because I've been doing a lot of kickoffs with him the past year.
That's nice. Well, he's right in your backyard practically too. So he's a real good coach to learn from. Awesome. Well, tell us about your Fred Mitchell experience now. What was it like getting that call? Did you know it was coming, or did you have a feeling at all?
No, I did not. One of the GAs had called me and like, hey, the head man wants to see you. It doesn't look too good. He was like, did you get in trouble with the law? I'm like, no. And he was like, your grade's bad. And he was just like putting all these negative thoughts in my head. And, so I didn't know what to expect. I was freaking out. But at the same time, I was telling myself, there's nothing to freak out about. Like, I've got nothing wrong, So they really kind of like put a lot of thoughts in my head before going into that room. And then when they finally called me in, all the coaches were around the table, and I'm like, what's going on? And, there's a phone, and, one of the coaches told me to answer it. So I answer, and then I hear, he's introducing himself, his name's Fred Mitchell, and I'm like, immediately, I'm just like, I kind of sigh, put my head down, and I'm like, okay, now I know what this is. And so everything just kind of went, my mind was going crazy.
Awesome.
Nice. Okay, so one thing with the Fred Mitchell Award, Luis, that you earned and was able to acquire through all of your talent and success this past year, a big thing there is community service. Do you mind talking about what you did in your community and what you volunteered for as part of the criteria to earn the award?
Yeah, so we had a really bad museum fire here in Flagstaff, a really popular and very well-known museum here in Flagstaff. It burned down, and there was a lot of debris, a lot of just it was bad. It was really bad, and they asked They asked the football team if anyone wanted to volunteer, clean up, and whatnot. And it was me and like 6 other guys. It was like long hours, cleaning and basically just putting everything in dumpsters and picking up just any debris. And then another weekend, it was like 2 weekends after that, volunteered at Walmart for the Salvation Army, where I basically helped like over 15 kids shop for back to school supplies and clothes.
Nice.
And it was a really good experience. It was a really humbling experience. It was, I met a lot of really neat kids and very bright kids. And another weekend in that same summer, volunteered at the Boys and Girls Club. Spent a few hours there, kind of just teaching other kids football and playing with them, playing kickball with them, and just chatting to them about NAU, about football, and just getting to know these kids and what they like to do, and kind of picking their brain about what they want to do in life. just sharing anything they wanted, anything they're curious about. Just being there for them.
Be a big brother, right?
Exactly.
Nice.
That's the perfect way to put it.
Yep. Awesome. So fast forward to 2 weekends ago, the Fred Mitchell Award ceremony. What was that whole experience like in Chicago?
Oh my God, that was so fun. Being able to share it with my whole family, and our athletic director even went. My head coach and my special teams coordinator. Being able to share with all of them was just such a great experience. And prior to that ceremony, we were kind of just being tourists and checking out the Spear Shower and checking out Soldier Field and Wrigley Stadium, and it was just so much fun. And getting to the banquet, it was at the Hollis Hall, the Bears headquarters, which was just renovated.
Nice.
It was so cool because we got to kind of get a little tour of it. But it was just one of the best nights of my life. That Monday night, had to I had the honor of giving an acceptance speech, after being presented the award by Fred Mitchell himself. And that was really cool. Just having my whole family there was just a blessing, and I was really happy to share with them.
So, Luis, are you a junior on the field and in school right now?
I'm a junior on the field, and in school I'm a senior, so I'll be graduating this May.
Okay, and are you planning on returning to finish, or are you going to grad transfer?
Yeah, there was a lot of talks about that, but I am actually gonna stay.
Nice.
Here at NAIA, because there's one of the two that believed in me and gave me this opportunity to even be here, and having this new coaching staff. This is the first year with this whole brand new coaching staff, and they've really have put a lot of faith in me and confidence in me. And a few days before the season even started, they said that I was their guy, and I was doing them a lot of games, and just having that support and having that relationship and having those coaches have that much confidence in you means so much, and could go a long way. And in my part, with the season I had and everything that's happened, I feel like I kind of owe it to them, and I owe it to this team, to stay another year and produce the same way, and just looking forward to it.
Nice.
Nice. So, Luis, that's pretty respectful and honorable of you too. And so, I asked you that because for me, when I played at Ball State back in 2003 to 2006, for me personally, it didn't hit me in my college career until around junior year, where I felt like, maybe playing in the NFL is like a possibility, or at least like giving it a chance, or thinking that I was good enough. And I ended up getting a Bears rookie camp workout, and then played arena football for 9 years after that. For you, I'm just curious, we're a lot older than you, so when did you, whatever your situation may be, have you thought about, one day playing in the NFL, or has it not even crossed your mind, or did it when you were 10 years old? I'm just curious. What is it like for you personally?
So I've been a huge football guy my whole life, and growing up playing soccer, I played soccer my whole life till senior year of high school, and I didn't really play football till my senior year as well as the kicker. And when I kind of knew I was, I could actually take this to the next level, and when I found out, that I could play at NAU, it was like, wow, I get to be a part of college football, which I love. My whole family is we're a huge sports family. So, we love our college football, NFL, baseball, we watch it all. So just like kind of knowing that I could be a part of like a Division I college football program, that was really cool. So getting there, there's like other goals. So like it's like you make it to college, like football, and then there's can I make it to NFL? So, but being a punter, it was I had my rough years. The first year I redshirted, second year got benched halfway, and then the third year took over kicking halfway. So this was my first full year, but I didn't really like have full NFL aspirations until this past summer, where I'm like, this kicking is going really good for me, and I could see the competition out there. I follow a lot of kicking coaches, like you guys, and I follow all the Coles and Baylor, so I see all this competition, and I'm like, yeah, I can hang with these guys. I feel like I'm better than these guys. So it was that summer when I'm like, all right, I have NFL aspirations. Like I wanna pursue this. So after having this season, and the way I ended up and everything, now it's like even higher. So now it's like, I'm not saying I want to put more pressure on myself, but it's like you gotta start. I personally am kind of treating everything else more like professionally. So getting treatment done, trying to stay healthy, working out. Everything is like for the future. So this is gonna help me get ready for my pro day for when if I ever get an invite to NFL camp. So it's just now I'm just taking it more serious, and I know that my dreams are still there.
What I think is incredible about your journey, and it's something that Brian and I preach at a lot of camps. It's important to be well-rounded in your skill set. You were a punter, even though you did them all, but your focus got converted from a punter to a kicker. And a lot of guys sometimes are resistant to that type of thing because maybe they like a certain skill set better. And the same thing happened to me. I went into college as a kicker, and then they converted me to a punter. I was kind of resistant at first, but eventually I did it, and then had a great year, senior year, or fifth year, I should say, and then the doors of trying for the NFL opened up. So you just never know kind of which direction the path takes you. And, legitly, you have the stats for it so far after your junior year. You have the abilities to try to pursue it for sure. And I think the approach that you're taking mentally and physically and taking care of your body, it's obviously good for your future, but it's also good for your team, your senior year as well. Just you're presenting yourself better. All the things that you need to do is just good in general. So I commend you on all that stuff too.
Appreciate that.
So leading you to our capstone question. We've had 86 interviews with various specialists and coaches. You might be our first Big Sky specialist. So the question we ask everybody is, over the course of your career, what are your 5 favorite stadiums to play in? And I guess in this case it would be your college career.
So we get to play Arizona State and U of A. We switch off every year, so I'm gonna have to say ASU was definitely is top 5 for sure. It was so loud and going. I grew up an hour away from ASU, so that's why I consider that my number 1, because it was like playing in front of all my friends and family.
Oh yeah, nice.
Second, I would say Montana. Montana was insanely loud. It was snowing, raining. But those fans are just, there's not 1 second they're not quiet. Third, I'd have to say Eastern. That red turf is a very popular field among others,
Yep.
So it was really cool getting to play on that red turf. Thought it was going to kind of mess with me a little bit, but it didn't.
Yeah.
And then
Eastern Washington, right? For everybody that's listening.
Yeah. And then fourth, I'd say Montana State. That was really fun. They also have a really good fan base, and it was loud the whole time. And then fifth, so this one's kind of tricky. I want to say Portland State. We got to play at an MLS stadium.
Wow, nice.
That year. I think it was the Portland Timbers MLS stadium.
Nice.
They don't. But what's sad is that they don't play there anymore. They moved to some other stadium this year. But it was really cool to get to play there last year because it was just this huge soccer stadium, and growing up a huge soccer fan, I knew my MLS teams as well. So that was really cool to be in that. But yeah, that'd be my top 5.
Nice. And the hometown crowd, right? Obviously, but the experiences outside of the hometown stadium, right?
Yeah. Man, playing here in Flagstaff is something else. Like the sounds just bounce off the walls, and we just got new screens,
nice.
Big screens, and new sound system, and a bunch of other cool stuff. And I think we see like about 12,000, but it's so like it's so close to the field, and it's just so compact that when it gets filled, like for family weekend, it's loud, and it's a huge home field advantage. So, but yeah, especially on kickoffs, it's just the best experience as a kicker.
Awesome.
Absolutely. There's several domes in the NFL to play in, so you're on your way, man.
Yeah.
Just keep the same energy that you have, and you sound very humble, and you sound like a hard worker. So just keep it up, and just obviously have your goals and aspirations of trying to earn the award again next year, but don't have too much pressure on yourself. Just go out there and do you, and set goals and bonus goals, and just keep helping your team, man. You helped your team out tremendously on defense with your kickoff touchback percentage, and then you scored a crap ton of points, which helped your team get some wins. So, best of luck to you, man. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us, and also just being a great example for the next generation of young kickers.
That means a lot. Thank you guys so much for having me. It was fun. Yeah,
I appreciate it, and thanks for being on, and we'll be in touch down the road. And good luck in this offseason and spring ball.
Yep, sounds
Bye,
good.
Luis.
Thank you guys.
Have a good night, man.
Yep, later.
You have a good night.
Goodbye.
Peace. Great young man that guy is.
Yeah, it was a fun interview. What really sold me too is just his mindset. You kind of have that eye-opener season. You do well. Obviously a little bit more attention gets on you. And I like the professionalism that he's developing and his work ethic and things like that to, again, help his team out. And I think it's very commendable as well to finish out your career at the same school as well when you easily could change. So I think it's real cool that he's doing that as well and sticking with the program and the coaches that believe in him and all that. So a real good kid.
Absolutely. Hey, guys, we just wanted to ask you, hey, follow us on social media. We're providing you a lot of guys free content with these fantastic interviews. And so we'd love it if you guys just give us a follow on Instagram at 4th Down Experience, and then also Twitter, 4th Down Experience. Please follow us there and just give us a like, drop some comments. We'd love to hear your guys' requests on who to interview next. So please send us a DM on any of those social platforms, and we'll do the best we can to get those guys on the show.
Yep. Thank you all for listening, guys, and we will see you next week.
Peace.
Thank you for listening to the 4th Down Experience. Be sure to subscribe on iTunes. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at 4th Down Experience.